Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly gentlemen. Mostly nobody. Nobody watches my videos. Hopefully ladies do. Today we're playing the greatest game in the history of games. It's called Seduce Me, the Otome. Yes, I'm gonna be a chick. New game. This is a fictional interactive narrative. Any character resemblances to real-life people are purely coincidental. Also, know that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please know that sexual, violent themes are explored in this game. Like, are they like sexually violent? I hope not. Trigger warnings, abuse, implied rape, and suicide. You've been warned. Oh, goody. Please enjoy. How am I supposed to enjoy it after you said that? Is this a boy or a girl? I'll assume it's a boy. Why, hello. My, aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name? Mika. Yeah, that works. I'll be Mikasa. Wait. Do I get like a last name? Tukasa. Herpes. What a lovely name for a lovely person like you. Wonderful. Eric, do your job. Very well. What is this? Am I not actually playing? This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Renpace's visual novel engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it. Eric. Fine. Farewell, my sweet. Somewhere. I don't know who's dying. Come on. Is that all you got? Show me your moves. Wanna try me, asshole? Oh. Oh, crap, missed. Let's retreat for now. No kidding, man. Let's get out of here. That's right. You better run, you stupid punks. Stay out of our territory. Call it fate or call it coincidence. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget. This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory. Miss Phillips, by the way, that's a nice name. It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketeers. Though, there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint. Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here, but it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I love the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell. Like the soft tapping of fingers, it was so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Miss Phillips's voice wasn't soporific. That's a big word. But I just wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and did my assignments as I had to. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after this semester it'd be the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on and on as if there were no end to it. The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them. But that was kind of it. I wish I had friends. In short, I was done with high school. The start of second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting replies sometime in the next few months. This chick's got her shit more thought out than I do. Like, I'm sitting at home reading this, and she's applying for colleges and shit. Take mushrooms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear, I'm bad. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things could change. I stared at the faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class. So, as you can tell, I'm not reading this in a girl's voice until she's actually, you know, saying it in a girl's voice. Also, I turned off voice acting, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Miss Anderson. Miss Philippe's voice, raised voice, interrupted my train of thought. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she noticed that I was spacing out. Yes, ma'am? Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard? Oh, I think I read about that in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula. God dang it. Okay. Very good as always, Miss Anderson. Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know me by my first name, but rather by my surname. No doubt, since the surname was the trademark of the internationally famous and philanthropic Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder. Kick-ass, girl! From beside me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's choice of words. She means good job. I'm sorry. Miss Capini. Oi. I forget their voices really quickly, and I'm sorry for that. Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were? Some guys named Black and Scholes. Fisher, Black, and Myron Scholes. Very good, Miss Patterson. Where's the music? Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while. Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up. That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now. Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi had scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was a sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity and stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, being around to another classmate. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled it open into the 3-desk. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She lightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project. Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need? Suzu straightened up and looked at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke up. How about a company name? You know what I'm saying? Huh? Did we really skip over that? Of course we did! You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skipped over the fact we need a name for our projects. And I'm pretty sure Suzu and Naomi now have the same voice. Gah, at least we caught it this time. What do we name it? Not sure. Alright, I gotta determine the voice for Suzu. Suzu sounds like Suzuraku. Suzuraku sounds like Subaru. And Subaru... Oh my god. I know the voice I'm going to use. It's got nothing to do with Subaru. It's like... I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you think, Huppies? It always came down to me. Whenever there was something to be named or titled, I was the master and ending the decision, even when I didn't want to be. I like Trinity Corporations. That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company? There we go. I like that one. That's easy. It's easy, and it suits that face. What do dragons have to do with our project? Whoa, it's totally unpredictable name. It's hot. But our company sells bubblegum. I mean, it could be like spicy bubblegum. Like, I don't know. I'd be down for some of that. Like, do you get... Okay. Oh, Suzu is my type of lady. Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum? Ugh, what do you think, Herpes? Yeah, what do you think, Herpes? Her voice keeps changing, and I don't know why. Suzu's just... She's incredible. Both of them looked at me expectantly. Even though I wasn't quite sure myself, I didn't really want to choose sides, but if it were up to me, I would say... Alright, so... I think... that dragons are pretty dank, and Trinity Corporation is kind of like, you know, that thing. So we're going with Dragon Company. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. So, okay. Booyah! Dragon Company it is. Oh my god, what is happening to your voice, Suzu? Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what? That was a very masculine voice for such a feminine person. As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Why are there more people? Reset. Or is it reset? Reset? Like, reset my game because it's going so well. Huh? Who is that? Ignore it. It's just Lisette. I gotta make him more feminine, I'm sorry. I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in the school. And as a result, everyone in the school knew them, and the center of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew that what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people in the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her. She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion. She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work. Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priest you're making her seem to be. The day she isn't a priest is the day I turn into you. What's that supposed to mean? Never mind. It's about... Oh, okay. It's about time. Let's bail. Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door. Her seat isn't even the closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand. Oh god, Naomi, please. That was Naomi, by the way. Yeah, I wish I was as fast as her getting out of here. Naomi folds her arms close to her chest, giving me a disappointed look. Oh, not you too. She's turning you into a delinquent. Haha, it's a joke, Naomi. Well, it's not really funny. Man, you guys are slow. Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what? We had you the first time, not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs on the bell rings. Wait, that's just me? I'm the only one? Obviously, Suzu does too. Like I said, Suzu's my type of lady. Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit. I do have to admit I was spacing out, and just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian. Okay, so it wasn't too interesting, but you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts. So you thought... God, her voice, it just leaves me. So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson. Please don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom, and never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye. That's because you're way taller than Nami. Like, there's me. Look how short I am. Like, Jesus Christ. Despite this, they both burst out in laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them wouldn't ever associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or a personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool. Sorry. Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum. Who would even buy that, I wonder? Naomi, I would. I would buy it, especially if it was made by you. Me, I would pay good money to get a taste of it. Haha, you do like spicy food after all. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely. Fries and spicy chicken chipotle for me. That's my definition of a good meal. I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu. I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing. You're crazy. Hell yeah, I'm crazy. Oh my god. I think I'm getting a migraine. I think I'll go with... I like mac and cheese and soda. Cause I mean, obviously these ones don't come with drinks, right? And I want soda, like, yeah. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
Alright then, is there anything we want to talk about? Bored already. I know, let's talk about... Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again. Oh, why not? What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon. We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend? Like that's gonna happen. Naomi, look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde. I like that. I've obviously very much switched their voices. Not saying that accent I use is Italian, because it's definitely not, but like the ditzy blonde voice definitely is being used for Suzu. And it should be the other way. Yeah, it's okay. Hey! Oh, wrong. God fucking. No offense. And Anderson here, well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants. Or girlfriend? She can be a lesbian if she wants. Suzu wants me. True. That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet. Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend. Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu. But you're the one who wanted to bring it all up, and you're the one who didn't want to bring it up, and now it's... Well... It really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more if there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria. Ms. Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you. Oh my. Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you, haha. Suzu, oh my. Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious? Fine. If something happens, just call us. Funny enough, something did happen, and it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damn grass underneath my feet. Someone died, didn't they? Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I was finally able to raise my head. A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me, where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family members were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and I behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents. And now I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why. And to my dearest granddaughter I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter. What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18? That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. He passed the family estate on to her. Why am I not surprised? Dear. Well, he did say anything about what... Well, did he say anything about what will become the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company? No, it is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position. Heh. Even to the bitter end he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face. About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school. Are you sure we should? Why not? This would be a good experience for her. Honey, what do you think? Ellipses. I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own? Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust. David! Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested. Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now? You can go ahead to the car, Mom. I think I'll need some time alone with Grandpa. Oh, of course, take all the time you need. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I wonder if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Grandpa! Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie. I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather. The way he greeted me, unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well. Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right? Yeah, so what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe in town. Maybe we could go? Oh, I would love to, but I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see? Yes, oh, is that a toy? It is. I was designing a new line of them, but I feel like something's missing. You don't think that you could help me out? Could you? Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though. So, what do you think? I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive, and it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle. That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my lucky little charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry about it too much. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it in the same way, though.
Your father, I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me. Oh my god, what was that? Sweetie, look at me. I was born in the darkness, molded by it. He bent down to look at me eye level, with a serious look on his face. As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you, there's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past, but it's nothing that you should be concerned about. I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter. But it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them.
It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there will come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me, we'll stand together to get through it. Well, you're kinda not here anymore, Grandpa.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here. He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest. So stay strong. Promise? For a moment, he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again.
Promise.
Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up. All right, then, enough about that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at the new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat. While I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this?
A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there.
I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave?
My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks.
I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me.
So my voice acting is probably on par with Crispin Freeman's. So, yeah. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see. Well, that's probably a good spot to end here. Because I don't actually know how much hard drive space I have. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll get back to this at some point in time. Maybe.